Happy, beautiful day. It's Pete Cohen here. It's Psychology's magazine, and this is Fantastic Friday. I'm very, very excited. This is my first live for Psychology's magazine on their Instagram page. I'm Pete Cohen. I'm a life coach. I specialize in helping people go from where they are to where they want to be. I'm going to be turning up here every Friday for what we're going to call Fantastic Friday. So let's let as many people find this broadcast as possible. Feel free to let us know what part of the world that you're in. I'd love this session to be as interactive as possible. Make sure you subscribe to Psychology's magazine. Click the link on the bio and you can become a subscriber of what I believe is the best magazine in the world in terms of practical psychology, in helping people figure out what is going on inside their mind so they can learn how to feel the way they want to feel. They can be more confident, they can feel more happier, more inspired, more motivated to do what they need to do regardless. So we've got South Africa in the house. Amazing. Let us know. I wonder how many countries we're going to have joining us on this live. So what we're going to do is we're going to be here every Friday, and we're really going to look at helping you have a fantastic Friday, setting you up for the weekend. We can see, look, there's people coming in from Shropshire in the UK. I wonder if we have anyone else from any other countries. Let us know what part of the world you're in, but I have to thank you so much for being here. I'm a coach and I love to help people. I believe that ultimately there is a gap between where we are and where we want to be. And I believe that that gap exists in three major areas. I think that's back to front. Those three major areas are our health and our energy, our relationships, our wealth and our work. And maybe you have some gaps in any one of those particular areas, because if you could wave a magic wand and literally give people what they wanted in their life, what they would want would probably revolve around one of those three areas. So let me ask you a question. If I could wave the magic wand and give you any improvement in your life, what areas would you want to improve? Would you want to improve your health and your energy and your vibrancy? Is that something you'd be interested in? Especially if you had to do nothing. All you had to do is say, this is what I'd want. What about your relationships? Are there any relationships that you would like to be better with your friends, your family, your colleagues? And what about your work? And what about your wealth? Are there any areas of that, again, you'd like to improve, whether it's earning more money or having your own business, or whether it's getting a promotion? Most people want to make improvements in those three areas. And Psychology's magazine, as you probably well know, is so committed to helping you figure stuff out for yourself, because there is no greater achievement than the achievement of a human being in filling in that gap. I just want to give you a little bit of a background here, and I genuinely want to help you, and that's why I'm going to be here every single Friday. Let's make it a fantastic Friday. I want to share with you some practical tools and tips and techniques that I believe if you apply them to your life, your whole life will change. Is that something you believe? Do you believe that the best is yet to come? How many of you believe that? Deep down somewhere, you believe that the future could be better than where you are right now. How many of you? Show me some hearts. Show me some sort of interaction. You think, yeah, I do believe that. Because if you do believe that, you know what that's called? That's called hope. And we know right now in the world, there is a lot of challenges going on, right? We all know that. What's happened over the last few months has changed the world, and the world might never be the same again. But we could have said that during the Second World War and the First World War and other disasters that the world has faced along the way. And perhaps this is the biggest disaster. But with any disaster, there is definitely opportunity. And what I want all of us to get excited about, even though it might be challenging, is to think about possibility, to be open to possibility. Because if you think about the only thing that exists in the universe right now is possibility. I mean, think about how many possibilities are there right now for you to behave and act in any way that you wanted to. You could turn this off and you could run around your house singing a song. I'm sure you could get upset. I'm sure you could get down. I'm sure you could see that the world is full of infinite possibilities for people like you to change our lives. Look, I'm not here to say that that is going to be easy. I'm just saying, are you in an agreement that it is possible? Because every Friday I want to come here and I want to give you some inspiration around possibility thinking. I am fascinated with thinking, what it is. Why do we think? How does that affect us? What's the impact of the way that we're thinking? Because the next question I want to ask you, and I really genuinely appreciate all you being here, can you change your thinking? And what would happen if you did? See, what I'd like you to do, how many of you just say yes or yes if you want to help me out with something here? Because I'm going to ask you to do something. I want you to say yes. Everyone say yes if you're watching this right now, if you're watching this live, if you're watching it later on, right? I want you to think about this. Look around you and see everything that man has created, right? From this phone, from the computers, from your car, from your house, and just know that everything that you see that man has created has existed twice, all right? Twice. Someone has come up with an idea. Have you ever had an idea of something that you want to do? An idea to be fitter and healthier, or write a book, or save money. You've had an idea. Now that idea was in your mind. You could see it, right? And you saw it and you probably got excited about possibility. Now, what some of us do with ideas is we then bring that idea into the world, so it then exists twice. Dr. Wayne Dyer talked about this. You might have come across him. Everything you see exists twice. Every thought that you have is a real thing. So many years ago, Steve Jobs came up with a phone, and I'm actually speaking on a phone right now. And he said it would be able to do all of these things, and people laughed. But he bought that idea with the help of others, because it's very hard for us to achieve anything without the help of other people. But he came up with this idea, and now phones are everywhere. What is an idea that you could come up with? I really want you to think about this, and let's work together over the next few months. As I give you an assignment, I'd have to give you something to do, and then you can come back and you ask me questions as we work together with this great platform that Psychology's magazine has created for us to go to work on ourselves. So I want you to think about everything that you see that man has created, and just know that it's been created twice. And probably as that person went out to go and create something, it probably wasn't that easy, right? So we all know the example of Thomas Edison, right? So if it wasn't for Thomas Edison, we'd probably all be having candlelight to this day. But he had the idea, he had a burning desire. Do you know what his burning desire was? Why he was so adamant on creating this bulb that could stay alight for a long time? Do you know why? Well, the real reason was he didn't like the dark. He was frightened of the dark, but he was fueled to do something. And even though he failed so many times, he didn't give up. And of all the things I'm going to say to you, right, that I'll ever say to you, if I never see you again, please understand this, because it's so powerful. Have you ever been a hero in the beginning, right? Have you ever thought to yourself, I really want to do something. Maybe you wanted to get fitter and healthier, or write a book, or just do something, right? And you had this burning desire to do that. Just say yes or yes, right? And you were full of motivation and you were inspired, but then after a few days or maybe a few weeks, you gave up. Have you ever had that experience? You started writing a journal, you did it for a bit, and you stopped. Have you ever done that? Yes or yes? If you agree with me, right, so we have all done this, but check this out. It's called being a hero in the beginning. We are so excited about something, we want to do something, but did you know there is a word, an ancient Sanskrit word. Sanskrit, the first, as we know, the first written words ever written. And they had a word for a hero in the beginning. Isn't that crazy? To think 2,500 years ago, what did people start and not finish? I don't know. Maybe building a house? Because today, there are so many things that we can start. But what I want you to become aware of is that you're not alone. This problem has existed for a long, long, long time. How many of you would like to not just be a hero in the beginning, you'd like to be a hero today, tomorrow, that you learn how to think greater than you feel? Because the reason we start things in many cases and stop them is the feeling that we had went away. So between now and next week, what I'd love you to do is to really think about what it is that you want. What is important to you? What would you like to happen in these three areas? What would you like to have happen? What would you like to create with your health and your energy? What would you like to create with your relationships? What would you like to create with your wealth and your work? What are the areas that you want to make advancements on? What do you want to improve? What is it that you'd like to go after? And I'd love to be your guide. I'd love to be your coach. Thank you to Psychologies Magazine for giving me the opportunity to be here and to be a positive influence in your life, because that's what I'm going to do. Any questions before we say goodbye? Let's just be really clear as to what I'm asking you to do. Make sure you're here next Friday. I'm asking you to look around at everything that you see that man has created and think, oh, that's been created twice. Someone had the idea and then they went out and built it. How many times in your life have you done that? And you persevered, even though it was difficult. And the next thing I want you to ask yourself is, how many times in my life have I started something with heroic effort and also the enthusiasm went outside the back door? How many times? And just be curious that you're not alone. Why did that happen? Because you didn't feel like it. The Sanskrit word is something like Arumba Gushunga. Please don't ask me to spell it because I'm very dyslexic. And then I'd like you now just to do some what I call possibility thinking. Possibility thinking about what is possible. All right? What is possible? Because if we are now living in a world, if we don't start becoming possibility thinkers, we are going to be a victim of our thinking. And I can tell you, things need to change. Would you not agree with me? Probably now more than ever, things need to change. And we need to be what Gandhi said. Gandhi said we need to be the change that we want to see in the world. Happier, more confident, more productive, more inspired people. People who have learned to change how they use their mind, to change themselves and change the world. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to follow me, not literally, but follow me on Instagram. I wonder if I can actually hear my name. You're going to see it afterwards. If you want to find me, you can. That's me. You can find me on Instagram because I genuinely want to help you. I'm a massive fan of Psychologies Magazine, and honestly, it's the best magazine in the world for practical tips and tools and techniques, and so many amazing experts that are giving their advice to you. But ultimately, those people can't change your life. You can do it. And I know that it's not easy. And I know that we can be heroes in the beginning. But we are so much more than what we think. I want to thank you for being here today. I've said every Friday, fantastic Friday. You can also see on Psychologies Magazine on their Facebook page. I broadcast every Tuesday. And at the moment, we've just done week 1 on 4 weeks of the magic of thinking big. Which is it's awesome and it's going to be awesome. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. I think I've waved at quite a lot of you. Any questions before we go? Any questions? Great to see you. Let us know where you are in the world. Look at all that. Look at those wonderful hearts and namaste. I really, really appreciate it. And I've been doing this work for a long time. I'm the author of, for those of you that don't know me, I've written 19 books and I've spoken all over the world on behavior and performance, and I'm just really passionate about people and possibilities. I believe the best is yet to come. I hope you have a fantastic Friday. Feel free to reach out to me. Tell me what's your biggest takeaway from what I've shared with you today. And sending you much love wherever you are in the world, and a big thank you to Psychologies Magazine. Click the link in the bio and make sure you subscribe to the greatest magazine in the world. This was great motivation. I was just sat at my desk struggling to get my clinical logs written. Well, you know what? I think it's Natalie. Natalie, the hardest thing to do, right, is just get started. There's a part of the brain that just resists pain. But if you literally just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and begin, the inspiration that you want to feel, it will come when you start. The hardest thing to do is just get started. Much love to every single one of you. We'll see you soon. All the best.